Good morning. We've got new information for you regarding home buyer demand, updates on the most recent inflation reading, as well as data on new and pending home sales. So, without further ado, let's start sorting out last week's reports. Let's jump into the bottom line. Good morning. We've got new information for you regarding homebuyer demand, an update on the most recent inflation report, as well as updates on pending and new home sales. But as always, let's start out with the staples. With regard to the interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage with a conforming loan balance, we saw a drop of 3 basis points. So, very slight decline, if we're being frank. This went from 6.23% to 6.2%. Although this does put us back to rates that we saw in September of 2022, which is before the peak. More importantly, this is also the third week of consecutive decreases we saw to this rate, and also a almost 5 month low on mortgage rates. Now let's switch gears and see how the potential home buyers of the world are reacting to this data. We saw that home buyer demand, which we're measuring through mortgage applications, as this is often the first place people start to become a homeowner, is continuing to jump higher. Week over week, we saw mortgage applications continue to increase by 3.4%. And this is important because this is following a week where overall mortgage applications were up 27.9%, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Additionally, we got a quote from Joel Kahn, who is an economist with the MBA, and he said that home buying activity remains tepid, but if rates continue to fall and home prices cool further, we expect to see potential home buyers come back to the market. Many have been waiting for affordability issues to subside. And for more on this topic, I've got my good friend Justin, who's got a fresh haircut and some fresh data on new home sales.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. So last week we got a brand new report regarding new home sales. What this report is measuring is the signed contracts on new homes, meaning new construction never previously occupied. This is an important report because this is from the month of December and rates were slightly down from their peak, about a half to 3/8%. And we did see sales start to increase and the sales pace started to pick up. The interesting thing that we're paying close attention to here is that there were 461,000 new homes for sale at the end of December. At the current pace of sales, that is about a 9 month supply. However, only 71,000 or 15% are completed existing homes. So to help paint a picture here for everyone listening, out of the 461,000 new homes for sale, 85% or 391,850 of them are homes being built and are in the construction phase, but they're certainly not completed or ready to move into, which is what most of us are looking for in this market. When we shift the perspective and look at the pace of sales versus homes that are completed, there is only about 1.5 months worth of supply, which is sharply different than the 9 months being reported on this report. Interesting stuff to keep an eye on. Back to you, Jake.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Now, as we continue to mention on here, mortgage rates are closely tied to inflation. They're like best buddies, they follow one another around. And on this very popular topic of inflation, we did receive a most recent PCE, or personal consumption expenditure, aka inflation report, and this was on Friday. And this showed that inflation rose by 0.1% in December and fell from 5.5% to 5% on a year over year basis. The core rate, which is the Fed's favorite measure because it strips out food and energy prices, rose 0.3% last month and declined from 4.7% to 4.4% year over year. Now, these are all in line with estimates, but also showing solid progress for what we've been continuing to tell you for what to expect in 2023, which is consistent lowering of overall inflation. And this should help continue to bolster mortgage rates, and we should continue to see them improve throughout the year. Some experts project that we could see the core rate of inflation get under 3% in June or July of this year. And then that would show up in the reports for August or September, as these reports are all lagging indicators. Lastly, we received the most recent pending home sales report, which measures signed contracts on existing homes, and this rose 2.5% in December. So we are starting to see a rebound in sales figures in the new home and pending home sales departments, as well as mortgage applications. So it's likely that for these reports, we've hit their lows, and we should see activity continue to increase throughout the year. Now, sales are down 33% from last year, but that's an improvement from where things were at negative 38% in the previous report. We also heard from the National Association of Realtors on this subject, where they said this recent low point in home sales is actively or okay. This recent low point in home sales activity is likely over. Mortgage rates are the driving dominant factor in home sales, and a recent decline in rates is clearly helping to stabilize the market. So that's it, folks. We appreciate you taking a couple minutes here to join us here on this Monday morning to get caught up with the most recent housing industry data. And we look forward to continuing to break it down for you each and every week on every new episode of The Bottom Line.